Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I wanted to just kind of sit down and do a bit of a solo book review. So today I wanted to do a rant review on Dangerous Lies by Becca Fitzpatrick. If you guys aren't aware, she is the writer who's also behind Black Ice and the Hush Hush series, which the Hush Hush series is one of my favorite books or series like ever. Super cringy, super typical YA, but I love it anyway. But anyways, back to this book. This is the one we're going to be talking about today. I mean, you can probably tell already by the title that I did not like this book. Basically, as an overview, it's about this girl who, she's in the witness protection program because of something that happened involving her mom and like a drug dealer, and someone ends up dying. So she says that she's going to testify. So she gets put into witness protection. I believe she moves from, I believe they were in Chicago, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Chicago. She gets moved from Chicago to like the middle of nowhere, like country. So basically it follows her and all of that kind of stuff surrounding and her story. And of course she falls in love with a random country guy because why not? And yeah, we will go from there, and I'll just kind of talk about the stuff that I liked as well as the stuff I didn't like. Alright, so I didn't like anything. Moving on to the things I didn't like, because I didn't like anything about this book, is off the get-go, I don't like anything country related, like literally not even country music. So the minute that I knew that it was set in like the country, I'm like, there's gonna be so many like cowboy people, and I'm not into it. I'm just not into it at all. So the setting already, I was just like, Becca Fitzpatrick, what are you doing? So also another thing, this is going to come on later in the book. I'm going to talk about how cringy this is in general later, but we're going to treat it as if it's not a cringy book, which it is literally one of the most cringy books I've ever read in my life. But we're going to judge it first without the cringe, and then we will assess the cringe. But first of all, she spends the entire book kind of talking about how she had a boyfriend back home and she was planning on staying with him while she was in witness protection. Like, that's going to work out. But anyway, so she's talking about this, and she's talking about how great he is, how amazing he is, and of course, the first time that she talks shit about him, like, I kid you not, she, like, throughout the entire book is like, he's perfect, he's flawless, nothing can ever go wrong with him, he is literally the light of my life, everything, like, he's perfect. The first time she says something bad about him is conveniently after she cheats on him. Literally, I kid you not, the entire book, like up until page 262, and this book is how many pages long? This book is 400 pages, and we don't hear a single bad thing about her, like, current boyfriend until 262, after she cheats on him when she goes, in fact, every time we had sex, I hoped I was good enough that Reed didn't go out looking elsewhere. I'd never once wondered about my own fulfillment, and he'd never asked. Okay, like, I just felt like that was so, like, of course she's gonna find a flaw in him, like, the minute she cheats on him, because we have to make sure that the star couple of this book is moral in some sense, even though she's literally cheating on her current boyfriend, who is Reed, by the way. So that already, I was just kind of like, of course you had to put that in, and I was just kind of like, great, like, it's one of those books, it's gonna be one of those. And, like, literally before they even hook up, like, the country guy, what the hell is his name? I can't remember. We're just gonna call him Bob because I hate him. He literally mentions, he's like, your boyfriend in Tennessee. Like, he literally mentions him. And she's like, who? I don't know him. Who's that? For 50 pages, she's talking about how, like, this is before they hook up. Like, she cheats on Reed. She's talking about, oh, I need to respect him. I need to, like, push myself away from Bob because I love Reed and Reed is perfect for me. And then, oh my god, wait, I need to bone, so never mind. Reed is terrible. I don't like him anymore. Okay. Also, if you didn't think it was a damn kicker that she's sitting there talking about, oh, I need to respect Reed, and then she cheats on him, on page 252, this is before she cheats on him, she verbatim says this, and I was reading this on a plane and I actually choked, like, almost, like, died laughing. She literally says, how could I entertain ideas of being with another guy when my boyfriend's life was in question? I was committed to Reed until I knew for sure he was dead. Like, she literally says, okay, so I'm committed to him until he's dead, and then once he's dead, I'll go bone this other guy. What? Like, I read that and I'm like, well, this is literally the book in a sentence. Stupid, ridiculous, and just dumb. Like, literally the entire time I'm like, wow, so she's gonna bone this guy anyway in 50 pages, but if Reed is dead, then it's okay. Which, Reed wasn't dead when she cheated on him, so. Okay, so I just realized that Bob's name is actually Chet, and if I'm being completely honest, I think I like Bob better because who the hell names a character Chet? But we're gonna call him Chet because we're just going to. Anyway, talking about, I'm really sorry, by the way, if you haven't read this book and this is like the most confusing review ever. I feel like this is only going to make sense if you have read the book because I'm like jumping everywhere. But it's just, I have a lot of thoughts and it's very hard to kind of keep them in line because I hate this book so much. So hopefully you are keeping up. If you haven't read the book, I guess don't watch this. There's so many spoilers. Oh my god. So on to the Carmina and Chet connection that literally was the most pointless connection I think I've ever seen in an entire book. She literally built it up as if it was going to be like this big thing, like, oh my god, why does Carmina not like Chet? Like, is it some sort of connection? Like, is he involved? Like, and then you realize it's literally just because she was boning or attempted to bone Chet's dad before he died. Like, I literally, like, I've never experience, like, it literally was like, oh, like, the client, like, it's coming, the climax of the plot, and it's just kind of like, oh, this is pointless and stupid, and why did you waste time writing this? What was the point of this? Also, do you honest to god think I'm gonna sit here and pretend that the baseball wielding invalid that was, what was his name, like Trigger or something, that he was able to figure out that she was part of the witness protection program? Like, really? Are we really gonna give this guy this much credit? Just the entire story was just so, it was just full of too many, what's the word when it's just, there's no way that that could actually happen. We're just gonna pretend I used that word, but that's what it was full of. Also, can we talk about how Reed was the mom's drug dealer? Like, what? I almost considered rereading the book because I wanted to see if that lined up with how the beginning of the book was set up, or if she was writing the book, had the girl cheat on Reed with Chet, and then go, oh shit, she just cheated on Reed, so we need Reed to do something worse so it looks better and she's still like in the moral right, even though she's not. So let's make Reed the mom's drug dealer. Like, literally reading it, I was like, okay, this is, what? The entire time reading this book, I was just like, why am I still reading this? Like, why am I still reading this? Alright, so now we're going to talk about the baseball scene because honestly, I think this scene, or I don't even know what to describe this chapter, has got to be by far the cringiest content I think I've ever read in my entire life. Like, it's just garbage. I literally, like, I highlighted it. Like, I literally read it and was like, wow. This was written. Like, this was written, this was published, and people are reading this. Like, I actually still can't believe it's a thing. Alright, so to kind of set the scene, basically our protagonist is one of those girls that's naturally pretty and doesn't wear makeup and judges every girl who wears makeup and is convinced that they do it to, what's the word? Impress guys, because that's what she thinks. And this is the protagonist I had to read from for the entire book. It was garbage. Anyway, so she pulls up to the baseball game because she's like on the baseball team now. And so I'll start from just kind of a random paragraph, but everyone laughed, apparently finding some truth in the joke. Don Juan's got nothing on me, the guy in the Broncos hat said in a voice like silk and chocolate. Really? To continue on, I'm the real deal. He winked at me, puckering his lips to blow me an air kiss. Because that's what people do. That's apparently a thing. I blew a kiss back, then stared him down smugly, showing him I could handle anything he wanted to dish out. The team ate this up, laughing and teasing Don Juan. I think if there's one thing that I hate that happens in every YA book I read that's garbage, is when the writer has to say, the team ate this up, laughing. Like, it was funny. Like, the protagonist is funny and relatable. Like, I just hate it. It happened also in that other book I read. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just like, it just makes me so uncomfortable. It's like, why? Like, they're not funny. Then, moving on, when the laughing died down, I took a seat at the end of the bench, startled to find that the girl next to me was wearing perfume. There's nothing that she's wearing perfume. Like, what does this even mean? So she goes on. It was so strong, it seemed to leak from every pore. I glanced furtively at her. I can never pronounce that name, or that word. I'm really sorry. Noting that she was wearing lipstick too. Actually, she had a whole face of makeup on. Leaning forward so I could see down the entire bench, I observed the rest of the girls. One had curled her golden hair into ringlets. Another wore denim shorts studded with rhinestones and hoop earrings. I was the only girl that looked like she had actually come to play softball. What a goddamn coincidence. I just, I hate when they make it such a, you have to like the protagonist because the rest of them are, she showed up full glam to a baseball game. who even cares? First of all, no one is doing that. Literally no one. And even if someone did, who cares? Like, and then she follows this up with, like, just to top it all off, the cherry on top. Once upon a time, I'd been one of them. I'd cared what I looked like, especially when boys were involved. I almost just kind of closed this book and went, I'm not reading it. I don't want to read the rest of this book. It's so, and throughout the entire book, like, she's just so contrived. Like, I just hated her character. And I feel like the sad thing is, I don't think Becca Fitzpatrick did that on purpose. I don't think she wanted people to hate the protagonist. She just genuinely thought that teenage girls would like a character like this, which is just garbage, and then mix it in with a bad romance where the plot is literally so shitty that I honestly feel like the development of this book was literally going, okay, so we have a romance, but we need a plot around the romance. So we're going to build a plot around this relationship, and then we'll turn it into a book, which I feel like never goes well. And I feel like Black Ice and Becca Fitzpatrick, or Black Ice and this book, were both created that way, which sucks. Overall, this book was garbage. I wouldn't recommend this. I feel like it would make for good kindling for a fire. I know that sounds really, really harsh, but I really loved Hush Hush, and I feel like everything she's done since then has just been terrible, which sucks. But if you guys have read this book, let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely curious to see if there's literally anyone on this planet who actually enjoyed this book. If you did, let me know. I would love to know why. If you didn't like this book, feel free to let me know why you didn't like it, because then we can chat about it. As well, let me know if you guys have read any of her other books, what you guys think of Hush Hush, Black Ice, all that kind of stuff. I didn't like Black Ice either. I loved Hush Hush though. I love that whole series so much. It's really embarrassing. Anyways, if you guys like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like me, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.